Hey yo, what's up? I'm LeFave, and with 2 free plugins and 1 tutorial, which you are watching right now, I'm going to show you how to make this cool little animation going around a little border right there for you to kind of spice up your live streams, and it's super easy to do. Let's get into it. All right, so it's all inside of OBS and it requires 2 filters, like I said. To get those filters, the links are going to be in the description. You're going to want the OBS Move Transition Source Filter, right? The Move filter. It's by our boy Exeldro. Love you, Exeldro. And the next one we want is the Blur Filter 1.1.0. You'll notice both of these plugins have a installer for Windows. So easiest way to do it is just to download those and click install. There's the installation one right there. All right, once you've got those installed, if you want to make sure that they're installed correctly, just go to any source or scene inside of OBS, click on filters, and then click the plus button. You should see the blur filter and you should see the move source filter. All right, check and a check. This is the example. You'll see all that I'm doing right here is I have 2 scenes and a collection, a total of 4 sources. Super easy to do. Let's start off by creating our bar background, our blurred bar background that is going to create the animation of this whole thing. So I'm going to click the plus button underneath scenes, and we're going to call this nested, and we're going to call this the blurred bar right there. Okay, so inside of here, we got to go to sources. We got to add a source. So the color I'm going to use for this is going to be a color source. I am going to make this one a green one. I think green on a nice like gray or silver might look pretty cool here. So we're going to do green, go select color. And I know that green is 00FF00. Choose any color you want. If you got brand colors, use them. Whatever, ever you want. And we click OK, and we click OK. Now, this is a very important step. Right-click on the source itself, click on Transform, click on Edit Transform, and in the positional alignment, make sure that it is set to center. We want to make sure it's set to center. It's going to go, whoa, right over there into the top left. That's okay. With it still selected, all you have to do is hit Control-D, and now it is centered inside your screen. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to crop it on down, all the way down like this, and then I'm going to make it a little bit larger, Control-D again makes it centered. Crop it a little bit more, maybe like right there, and we hit Control-D. It is completely centered. All right, we've got our bar, but it doesn't have any of that cool blur effect, right? Let's go do it. On the scene itself, right-click, go to Filters, and then from here, click the plus button, click on Blur, and then say OK. And then we're just going to make the size it up to however we like. I want to make it almost like a neon light inside of it. And you kind of see it in the background right there. Cool. Now we have our cool kick butt blurred neon electric line. And you'll see, make sure that it is way extended past the actual canvas size. So let's go get the rotation on this thing going. On the scene again, we're going to right click on the scene and we're going to click on filters and we're going to click plus. We're going to add a move source. The move source, we're going to call this one action. Can I spell action? Action 1, and we say okay. The only source that can be selected in here is the green color source. We're going to make the duration 10 milliseconds. Scrolling on down, in easing, make it no easing. In easing function, select quadratic. All right, now we're just going to say get transform. So this is the starting position. Now we're going to right click on this and say duplicate, right? Duplicate, and we're going to make this one action 2, and we say okay. So for this one, the duration I found that I like so far is 2400 milliseconds, which is equivalent to, you guessed it, 24 seconds. Okay, so we got that right there, 24 seconds. I was supposed to jump up faster. Darn you, Stream Deck. Darn you. Sleeping on the job. All the other settings will remain intact. However, right here in the transform, where it says ROT, that is for rotation, I want you to make it say 360. That's it. You don't have to click anything else. We're going to scroll down to the bottom. We're going to say next move is going to go to move action 1 and go back up to action 1 now that action 2 is completed. We're going to say next move will be action 2. So to activate it, just click the little eyeball right here and bam, we now have our rotating cool line. Okay, so that's the first part. Now let's go to the second part. We're going to create a new scene. This one is going to be called a nested scene and it's going to be called the background. This is the background. So for the background, we're going to add that color source I told you about earlier, like that grayish color. We'll go gray. There are definitely more than 50 shades that you can choose from of gray, so don't get caught up on this. Don't get caught up. I think that might be right. Right there looks good. All right, we'll say okay. So there's our background. Now I'm going to do something they call in the business of nesting a scene. Underneath sources, I'm going to click the plus button, and I'm going to add a scene to this scene as a source. And we click add existing, and it's going to be the blurred bar that we just created. And we say, okay. So now we have our blurred bar going all the way around. Well, last but not least, you got to put something over it. You could apply a mask to the entire scene itself, but the easiest way to do this is to just add one more color source. I already have a black one here. We're going to say black, and then I'm just going to crop it in by holding the Alt key down, bringing it in 10 on the left, 10 up top, 10 up top, and then I just hit Control D. And there you have it. You now have a really cool background, and you can make the size larger, you can make it smaller. You've got all of the tools at your disposal to edit and configure this however you'd like. So there you have it. Under 7 minutes. It's a wonderful little tutorial. Make sure you guys like, follow, subscribe. If you've got any other questions, let me know. I'm going to keep coming out with some more pretty cool, pretty interesting, easy to follow, hopefully, tutorials for OBS Studio, because I love digging around and playing in OBS Studio. So slam that like button, and I'll see you on my next live stream. I'm LeFave. Oh!